Hello guys, it's me again, SSB, with another tutorial. I got this request from a client. He wants me to animate this character and make a logo reveal for him. It's a cryptocurrency business, so he already provided this character and this Photoshop layer files. So I moved ahead to separate the files into parts that I will be able to animate using After Effects. As you can see, I have made those into individual layers. This is because I want to be able to manipulate each layer when I import this into After Effects composition. So let's head straight to After Effects. Now we are going to create a new composition. You can name that the title of your logo. You may have a similar. You can use any character of your choice. It must not be this character, but I just wanted to show you a workflow of how I was able to get this done for the client. So now I'm going to name this composition the name of the company, which is Crypto Potato. He requested the intro to be 10 seconds at most, high definition 1920 by 1080. You can use whatever settings you like. 30 frames per second is good for me. Full resolution 10 seconds is already there. The background doesn't really matter because I am going to change this background to any background I like later. Alright, hit OK. So now I need to import the character and make manipulation in a different layer on a different composition so that I'll be able to combine all in this composition. So double click on the project space. I am going to bring this particular file I've edited. This is it, potato logo edited. So I'm going to bring in not as a footage, not as composition retaining the layers. I just want to bring it in as composition and make sure you have editable layer styles enabled, then hit OK. What this is going to do is going to bring in that Photoshop file I have edited the layers into After Effects, retaining the layer it has in Photoshop. So double click this and you can see that it retains all the layers in After in Photoshop. So I'm going to hide this bottom layer with the white on it. So what I need to do now, you can see on the body, you can see the anchor point is at the center, which if I have to rotate this, let's hit R on the keyboard and rotate this to see. If you rotate this, it's going to give you inorganic rotation. So I will have to change the anchor point to the hip so that I will be able to manipulate this properly. So hit Y on your keyboard and move this to the hip here, right about there is okay. Now the legs too, the anchor points need to move to this right about this place on the hip where I can be able to manipulate that. I'll also do the second leg. So guys, I'm going to fast forward this and make sure I move all the anchor points to the proper places so that it will enable me have a smooth organic perhaps close to organic animation. So I'm going to fast forward this and get back. Yes, I'm back. You can see now, if I hit R for the arm, you can see it rotate in the right direction. You see the body is now rotating in the right direction. If you also hit the arms, you will see that it is also rotating in the right direction. You can see. So what I'm going to do now is to parent all of these objects, including the coin, to the body. So I'm going to quickly do that and get back again. So welcome back. What I basically did here, I made the shadow here as the master controller of the entire body. So I parented the arms, the mustache, the eye, the hat, the coin, the arm to the body, and then I parented the body to the shadow, and I parented the two leg and the boot to the I parented the two boots to the two legs individually. Then I also parented the two legs to the shadow. So you can see if you select the body and make rotation, the body rotates independently together with this thing, with the arms and the rest of the body. So this is because it will allow it to have a normal character movement. So if you also move the um, the arm, you will see that this will also move in its own direction. You can see it is moving, but I think it will look better if I can parent this arm, if I can parent the coin to the arm, so that when the arm moves, the coin will move as well. So let's parent this coin to the arm instead of the body. Arm 1, okay, that's good. So let's rotate this to C now. You can see it is moving with the coin. So with this now, I can now move ahead to work on the animation. What am I going to do here now? I'm going to just make some random movements. I will just want this coin. I will want this coin to be like the potato pointed a graph, and the camera moves to the progress of the graph. Then on top of the graph, the coin is found, and then he picked the coin. Somehow we are going to make him get the coin from the top of the graph and then hold it. Then we'll move it backward to reveal the logo. So I'm just going to do some calculation now. So first thing I need to do now is I will need to copy this coin. I will copy it into the main composition, scale it down to meet the size right there. I think this is okay. This is okay. We're just going to create some kind of transition between the coin he's holding and this that will come, because this is not in 3 dimensions. So we'll have some little limitation from the way we are going to animate this character. So at the time being, for the time being, I'm going to hide this. So now I'm going to make sure the potato is also 10 seconds long. Reduce I'm going to bring up the keyframe of the rotation of the legs like this. So I am going to fit. So what I'm going to do basically is just to make some rotation here and make keyframe and get back. So I'll make this keyframe from here about here. Just make some random keyframing. For this, I'm going to also make a keyframe to go there. So So now if you move this, you will see what we have done. It must not be perfect. We just need some kind of movement. This is too far apart. This is too far. I want it to be very snappy, so that it will look as if the potato moved forward. So what I'm going to do here now is to create another keyframe here for the other leg. Here is going to be 0. So when it moves, good. So all I need to do now is select the two keyframe, hold Alt on the keyboard to scale it a bit down. So let's see what we have. I'm not going to create a cycle because I'm going to animate this independently. It must not be like good, just as if it's moving. I can still scale this a bit further so that it will be a little bit fast. Still going to scale this in. You can do whatever you like. If you have a motion that you're satisfied with, I just want to make sure I am doing something here. Okay, you can see it's a bit snappy. I don't want it to be. You can enable motion blur for these two legs so that we have a smooth and have a smooth movement. That is going to be. Alright, all I'm going to do now is to copy these keyframes and paste it somewhere here. And just to keep it simple, you can create a walk cycle for this, but the position of the character is not really friendly for that. You can see the boots are not pointing forward, so to create a walk cycle, you'll be like just have to create another view that is facing this so that the walk cycle will be proper. But for the logo provided now, we can just manipulate this a little bit, copy and paste. Sorry, you need to copy this keyframe individually. So I think I'll be okay with this. I want to reduce the quality of this so that this will not slow down my machine. The higher this resolution, the better, the slower your system. So this should be enough for the time being. Let me slow this. Alright. Do not mind this opening here on the shadow. We're going to fix that at the end of the animation. Good. So now I need to make the hand kind of point upward. From here I'm going to animate the back arm, which is this. Also, most of the things I'm going to be using here will just be the rotation. I'm going to add keyframe here, so it is going to point like it's making reference to the graph I'm going to create. Sorry, I rotated the wrong board object. So right somewhere around there will be enough. For the time being, I'm going to put forward this coin. I'm going to use this so that it will better come in when I need it. I'm also going to animate this. You can see here we have the arms raising. I'm going to move a little bit of the upper arm. So just slight movement will do. Now what I'm going to do now is to create a keyframe that will blink. I just want to keep it simple without using some kind of command to do some automation here. On the eyes, I'm going to blink it. I'm going to make it blink on the eyes. So I'm going to add a keyframe here to consistently blink the eye. This way I'm going to copy and repeat this. Everything here I intend to keep it simple and manual like, and that will still work. There are some other ways you can do this to be a cycle, but I don't want to go into that. I'll make a separate tutorial on how to create to make your keyframe like loop continuously until the frame is finished. So but for now I'm going to keep it simple and make it manual all through. So now let's create a keyframe for the blinking. So I'm going to use the scale in this case, not rotation. I'm going to use scale, so it is open here. We can bring this it will blink. You can see that it's compressing to blink. This is okay. So all you need to do now is to move it forward in time and then copy this, see, and paste. So you can see that blinks the eyes. So what I'm going to do over time, I'm going to copy this and repeat them because I will not have to touch this again. 3 seconds first. Let's see what we have. On every 3 seconds it blinks. So you move to 6, you paste the same keyframe. Then you move to 9, you paste the same keyframe. So let's see what we have here. If it's organic enough, then so I think this is okay, but I'm going to add some randomness to this blinking. Maybe after the first blinking, between the first and third, let's say it blinks again, just to keep this random so that it will not be like good. So hence we are not kind of looping it, so I want it to look a bit organic. What I can do from this beginning, that the movement is going on, so I can also keep pasting this. It depends on what I'm going to have on the animation there. So what I can do here is let it begin like it is holding the cap. Let me bring, at this point I want the cap to be on this arm. Hence the coin is not going to be showing now. Let's put this cap. I'm just trying to do something freestyle, nothing written on stone here. You can try something else. Just want to keep it simple so I see the workflow, how I was able to animate this character for the client. So what I'm going to do now is to position. We can have this cap duplicated. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have this hat duplicated. Control D on the keyboard, Command D if you are using Apple or Mac. So now this second one, I'm going to parent it. I'm going to parent this to the arm. I'm going to parent this particular hat to the arm, the first arm, so which is arm 1, which is this. So I'll then move the hat down. I'll move the hat down like it is holding it. So I will have to move the layer up. I want it to be on top of the arm like it is holding the cap. So I will rotate it a bit to give it a kind of organic look. So let me rotate it so that it will have this gravity on it. So in this case, I'm also going to move the anchor point to the tip here so that it will look as if he is holding this. Okay, right there is enough. So I'll move this to this. So you can see now, if the arms moves, it moves along with the cap. So in this case now, we have to push back the first hat. We don't want it to show now. For the time being, we don't want it to show now. So let's see what we have on the main animation here. I'm just going to keep this as simple as possible. Let's make this a quarter and bring this to about here so that we have a picture of this. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to solve this shadow problem here. This shadow problem, I have to solve it first so that I can continue. So we'll go back to the character composition. Pick your shape tool, make sure no layer is selected. Pick the ellipse tool. We're going to draw something to match this. It must not be perfect. This, I think this should be around the size of what we want. So zoom in. Let's show what we have. Good. I think this is fine for this. So let's adjust this to make sure, just to make sure it's same thing with what we have here. This is enough. So we're going to move this. Let's rename this to shadow. So shadow, let's call it shadow 2. So move this down to the bottom of the layer, the bottom of the composition of all the layers, very close to the other shadow. Oh, sorry, I want to repeat that again. The naming did not work, so we have to rename that to shadows 2. So you can name just anything, whatever you feel like naming it. So we don't want stroke, we just want the fill color to be similar to this what we have there. So if you disable this layer, you can see it's something very gray, so we can just use the eyedropper to pick that color. Now we have the same color as that. So all we need to do now is to reduce the transparency. With this one now we can fade the edges and do whatever I want to do with it, but we're going to keep it sharp and simple. So what I'm going to do now is to drop the opacity. Just hit T on the keyboard, drop the opacity to about 75. That should be okay. Then we need to replace this with this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it on top. I'm also going to make it a child of the main shadow. You can either delete the parenting and remake the parenting, but in this case, if I just make it the parent of the first shadow, then I will hide this. I know if I'm moving my character, I just need to move this entirely, which I may not really do most of the time. So you can see now if it's moving, the shadows are intact, no more openings. So we're going to see this. So you can see now so when the heart here, we're going to place some keyframe. When the arm moves that way, let it tilt a little. So let's add just a rotation keyframe here. We're also going to maintain the same keyframe here. So the in between, now when it gets to this place, let's tilt it like it tilted back on 4th. Good. You can see it gave it some kind of organic secondary movement. Now you see it's more realistic this way. So what I'm going to do now, I need it to move to about 5 seconds. You can see this thing is still blinking, so it's still blinking. So I need this to continue, this leg cycle, this leg movement. I want it to continue. Let's go to the